name's Sarah, and this is my first MBE. So on June 2nd, Justin's concert tickets went on sale, and I didn't get any because they were like, I'm not a part of Bieber Fever, so I couldn't get the pre-sale. So basically he sold out the entire show in just the pre-sale. So when I was on Ticketmaster, there were no tickets. And then tickets on StubHub were $200 for like really bad seats, like behind the stage and stuff. So my dad was like, well, maybe, you know, a week before the concert the prices will go down. They never really did go down. So like it was like 2 weeks before the concert, and I was still hoping that maybe I would go, but you know, chances were looking really slim. And then a week and a half before, my mom called me on her way home from work, and I thought, you know, she's probably just calling me to like tell me like start making dinner or something. And she was like, you need to go check 105.3's Twitter because they're having a contest to like win meet and greets and tickets to go see Justin Bieber. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to win this contest. I don't care what I have to do, I'm going to win it. So I found out the rules, and basically 105.3 was going to go to 12 different grocery stores, and at those grocery stores you could enter your name in a drawing, and then if your name was picked from the drawing, then you would go and enter a trivia contest, and if you win the trivia contest you win tickets and meet and greets. So all my friends were like tweeting 105.3, and they're like, you know, Sarah has to win because she's his biggest fan, and they tweeted pictures of my room, and one of my friends actually got retweeted by them, so we're like, okay, they know who I am, they know I'm legit. And so my dad went and signed me up, and he was talking to them, and they actually recognized my name from Twitter. And so I ended up winning that drawing. Like, we don't know if it was rigged or not, but who cares. So then the next, like, 4 days later, I did the trivia contest, and I got to be, like, on the radio and everything. And that was really cool, and I told like everybody who's listening that I wanted to touch his hair when I meet him, but it's whatever. So they asked us questions, and they went through about 17 questions, and the question that I won on was, besides Selena Gomez, who is Justin Bieber's celebrity crush? And I said Beyonce, and the other girl said Taylor Swift, so I won, even though he does kind of like Taylor Swift, but whatever. And I was crying, and like I had some friends who showed up and they were crying, and my mom was crying. And you know, I didn't really know that, like when I won, I didn't know that I met him. Like, I mean, I didn't know that I was like gonna meet him, that I won. Because like Rachel, who was like telling us who won, she like pointed at the other girl, and then she pointed at me and was like jumping up and down. But like I didn't sleep, like I was so nervous the entire like week before. I didn't sleep. And so I was just like, what? And then I looked, and everyone's like clapping, and my mom's crying, and I'm like, oh, I'm meeting him. So the concert was in 4 days, and I didn't sleep like until the concert. Like the night before, I took like one of those pills that makes you fall asleep because I like wasn't sleeping at night. And so we left my house, and on the way to the arena, we got Justin a gift card to Tim Hortons, and I have this picture. It's photoshopped of me holding hands with Justin, and then I put my Twitter name at the bottom so like maybe he would follow me. And so we got to the arena at noon, and across the arena there's a little restaurant where me and my dad went to eat because we were like starving. And there were all these girls outside the arena like waiting for Justin's tour bus to come, so we knew he wasn't there yet. And as we're inside the restaurant eating, the girls start screaming, and 2 tour buses drive past, and one of them wasn't Justin. I don't know who it was. It might have been the crew or Carly Rae Jepsen. I don't really know who it was. And then Justin was in the other one, so these girls were going crazy. And I got to see Justin get there, so that's cool. And then at 3:45, we picked up our tickets from this guy from Island Def Jam. And you know, I was really hoping my tickets would be like floor seats, like row 3 or something. But I was actually section 228, so it's kind of far back. But I was row 1, so that was like really cool because like no one was in front of me, so I didn't look at someone's head the entire time. But I'm not complaining that I wasn't like floor because at least I still got to go. And while we're in line waiting to get inside for the meet and greet, there's this girl, and everyone's like, oh yeah, she's famous. And it was Aretha Franklin, but you guys probably know that because like Justin has a picture with her and stuff. So my dad got to take a picture with her, and I held her spot in line. And then like the meet and greet line would not move. Like, I'm not kidding. Meet and greet was supposed to start at 4:30. We were like not moving by 5 o'clock. And like it got to the point where we're kind of like, is Justin going to cancel this? Because we're not moving anywhere. And it got really nerve-wracking that we weren't going to ever meet him. And so finally the line started moving, and we had to go through these glass doors before, like, you have to go down like all of these stairs to go meet him. And they're like these glass doors like before you get to the stairs. And on the other side of the glass door I saw Alfredo, and I was like freaking out. I'm like, okay, don't freak out in front of Alfredo. So he walks out the door, and I was like, hi Alfredo, and he smiled, and he was like, hey. And I didn't really think to get a picture with him because like I seriously like had like 3 seconds to react, and he looked like he was like going somewhere, like he had to get somewhere. So whatever, I gotta meet Alfredo, and we get inside the meet and greet, and we have to go in groups of 6. So there's 4 of the girls behind us, and they went in with us. And so we're getting almost in the meet and greet, and we know he's behind this wall, and we're just like petting the wall. We're like, oh my gosh, this is real, we're actually meeting him. And so we finally get into like a room, and in the room there's like the black curtains where he's behind, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And the group in front of us goes into the room, and they move the curtain back, and I saw Justin's face for the first time, and I think that's really when it like hit me, like, oh my gosh, like, I don't really remember, but I think he might have like looked out of the corner of his eye at me. I don't really know, like, I was freaking out, losing my mind. I don't even remember like anything that happened that day. So they closed the curtain back, and I can't see Justin anymore, and I just like gasped, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's real. And I was like, I'm like about to cry, like my eyes are tearing up, but I'm like, okay, no, I'm not crying in front of Justin Bieber. And so within 20 seconds, the curtain was back again. It's time for us to go in, and like I literally could not move. Like I stood there, and my dad was like pushing me to go in there. And so I go for Justin's left side, and he put his arm around me, and I just like died inside. Like, I felt kind of bad for him because I was shaking really bad, and he could probably feel that, but I'm sure he's used to it. So the entire time I was in the meet and greet, I just kept looking at Justin's face, like just like looking at him just to make sure he was real. And me and my dad had planned to tell Justin a joke, a Chuck Norris joke, because Justin loves Chuck Norris. And we get in there, and Justin's literally standing like this, like just staring the entire time. And I'm thinking, okay, great, he's not going to smile in my picture. The one time I get to meet him, he's not going to smile. But my dad's like, Justin, and Justin doesn't say anything. And my dad goes, Justin, and Justin still doesn't answer. And then my dad says, Justin, Chuck Norris can milk a chicken. And Justin just goes, heh, oh my. Like, I don't know if he didn't think it was funny or if he just didn't know what to say, but he didn't seem really impressed. So we get ready to take the picture, and he has his arm around my waist, and I just felt like incredible. And then Mike takes the picture, and I kind of like back off of Justin, like, so I can go get a hug. And the 5 other girls were all kind of like surrounding him, like, okay, let's get a hug. And then the security guard comes, and he literally takes one arm and grabs all 5 of us girls and yanks us off of him. And I'm like freaking out because I have my picture and my gift card to still give to him in my hand. So I like yank one of my arms out of the security guard, and I like shove it in Justin's face. And I'm like, Justin! And Justin, like, okay, he looked at my hand, so I don't know if he even saw my face in real life, but he actually saw my hand, so that's pretty cool. And he takes the stuff out of my hand, and I don't know if he said thanks or if he even said anything, but I got yanked out of the room, and I was just like kind of freaking out. And so I'm getting out of the room, and I start tearing up, and I'm like, I didn't get a hug. And my dad's like, kind of like, come on, we need to get out of this room. And then I turn the corner, and I see Kenny, and I'm like, okay, not crying in front of Kenny, this is not happening. So like I wipe my tears away, and Kenny is right there, and I'm like, hey Kenny, and he's like, hey guys, how you doing? And he has, his little smile. I didn't ask for a picture because same thing as Alfredo, I had like 2 seconds. And plus, I think he was trying to get back into the meet and greet because he was kind of like scooching along the wall, like trying to get in there. So, whatever. Then after we met Kenny, I started like crying like really hard, and I was like calling my dad, and I'm like, he's actually real, he's real, he's real. And it just didn't seem real. Like, it still doesn't seem real. Like, 2 months later, it still doesn't seem like I met him. But I guess I did, so. And then my picture wasn't posted until 5 days later. And I was home alone, and the radio station I won the tickets from, like, tweeted the link to my picture, and they were like, we just tweeted a picture of Sarah Ursum. And that's my name, so. They just tweeted a picture of me, and I was like, oh, okay, it's probably just the picture of when I won or something. Like, it's not a big video. So I just checked my meet and greet picture earlier that day, and it wasn't there. But then my friends started tweeting me stuff like, your picture's so cute, and I'm like, what the heck? So I click on it, and it was my meet and greet picture, and I just started screaming and crying because, like, Justin actually smiled. And this is my picture, so I'll show you. Okay, well, obviously that's Justin, and then that's me, and that's my dad, obviously. So, I was like freaking out that he actually smiled in my picture. It was insane. And it was just an overall great day. My dad says it was the first concert that he went to where he didn't appreciate the music, and then when he left, he like loved it, like loved the concert, thinks Justin's a great performer, so that's really good. Justin is actually converting haters. And I have a couple thank yous. 105.3, obviously you guys have like played the biggest part in this. Like, my dream came true because of you guys. Like, my life is complete, like, forever. That's the one thing I really wanted to happen, and you guys really did it for me, and I just cannot thank you enough. Rachel, Bo Derek, and Gravy, you guys are like beyond perfect. Like, I just can't thank you enough. Like, seriously, I don't know what to do with my life now. Like, I already met him once. Like, maybe I should go try to meet him again. I don't know. All of my friends, like, just thank you for the support and for tweeting the radio station, because you guys are the reason they recognize my name. And I just, if it wasn't for you guys, it is, like, I don't even know if I would have picked from the drawing, and I might not have met him. Thank you to Justin and the crew, because I realized after this that Justin seriously does a ton of meet and greets, like 200, 300 girls per show. It is insane. Like, I don't know how he does it. So just thank you to Justin and the crew for doing these meet and greets. A lot of other artists don't get this, like, don't get to do this stuff for the fans, and I don't think believers are appreciative of this, like, as much as we should be, really. Like, I really have, like, a lot more respect for the crew now. Like, not that I didn't respect them before, but I have a lot more respect now. And also, thank you to Vanessa for just running this website and giving me the opportunity to share my MBE with all of you guys. So, thank you for watching my MBE, and if you haven't met Justin yet, just keep believing, because I promise you someday it will happen.